Okay, you're probably going, is this like an Oxema commercial or what? But seriously, I actually have a way normal life for a teenage girl. I mean, I get up, I brush my teeth, and I pick out my school clothes.
What are you doing? Keep quiet, okay? In case you forget, we just went inside Nicki's house and we're currently in her closet and we're doing a robbery. But looking at all these fabulous outfits, it just makes me remember that Nicki Minaj is a fashion icon. You know what? Fuck it. Just sit down. We're gonna talk about Nicki Minaj's fashion evolution, okay? Sit down. As I said, Nicki Minaj is a fashion icon. That much we know. Her style has defined the past decade the same way her music has. Just like her raps, she isn't afraid to go there in terms of fashion as well. Whether she's sporting the most campiest look you can ever imagine, or a seductress type of look, you know she's gonna rock the hell out of that outfit. In many ways, her style evolution represents the cultural evolution of fashion since 2010 side to side with her career. Nicki's style has been reinvented throughout the years, being meticulously curated to evoke the theme and the motif of the current album or project Nicki is promoting. And we will get into it all in today's video. And the fact that we're actually inside Nicki Minaj's closet, we're gonna get really gritty here, like stupid ho gritty. Well, before we rob this closet, let's go ahead and talk about the evolution of Nicki Minaj's fashion. Warning, I am in no means a fashion expert, I am a fashion noob, so if I miss something or get something wrong, please be nice to me. I don't respond well to bullies.
It's me again, and before I start the video, I just want to say to everyone that I now have a Patreon page. So if you guys want to support my shenanigans and all of that stuff, just go to my Patreon page and please support me. Thank you guys.
Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj was born in Trinidad and Tobago and later moved to Southside Jamaica, Queens, New York to live with her parents. From a young age, Nicki Minaj has always been very creative and a performative kid, and this performative spirit has stuck with her throughout her teen years, leading up to her successfully auditioning and being admitted to the LaGuardia High School, which focuses on the visual and performing arts. Originally wanting to be an actress, she was cast in the off-Broadway play of In Case You Forget in 2001, after which she shifted her dreams from actress to singer, appearing in some background vocals for local rappers in her area. Nicki then finally settled on a new dream career, being a rapper, as rapping is a skill that she has been cultivating for years since she was 11 as her hobby. This was when she signed up to the rap group Full Force around 2003 to 2004 and recorded some songs with them until she quit the group to pursue music independently, wherein she released 3 mixtapes and was eventually signed by Lil Wayne to Young Money. And the rest was history. Nicki Minaj's style back in these days was very much influenced by the trends of the time. Her style can be categorized as part of the McBling style as she sported a lot of the trends associated with aesthetic. But she had a bit more edge and a quote-unquote more hood take on the style compared to the prominent McBling style icons, which is in part affected by her upbringing in Southside Jamaica, Queens, and thus being more influenced by black streetwear culture. Nicki can be seen wearing tank tops, graphic tees, trucker hats, and statement belts, which are a huge part of the McBling style. But she puts her own spin on this aesthetic, wearing more skinny or capri jeans instead of the more popular bootcut jeans, the famous colorful push-up bras that would show behind her tank tops, and eccentric accessories such as lots of bangles, sunglasses, and her iconic bamboo earrings, which she later on references in her future work like Dear Old Nicki and Chun-Li. Side note, this skull belt that she wore for a music video in the Come Up DVD, to die for. She also regularly wore a fitted jacket, whether leather or denim. Her style during her mixtape days really was a contrast to the more glamorous and over-the-top Nicki that we are familiar with. Nicki during these times wore very casual outfits. Even when she's performing, she looked like she was about to go out for a party, opting for jeans, a revealing top, and sometimes a jacket. Unlike the more colorful, bedazzled bodysuits and two-piece suits that she usually wears to a performance nowadays, she dressed like exactly her part, an underground rapper. You can see her in her music videos usually dressed down, but still stylish. Her music videos back then were your typical low-budget rap music video, Nicki walking in the street with her crew. She often embodied her alter ego, Nicki Lewinsky, during these times. We barely see her in a dress or gowns around these times, as she didn't really have any red carpets to attend to. It is important to note that while Nicki was relatively thin back then, she was still curvy and she had more of an hourglass figure, and that wasn't really the body standard back then, as extremely thin women were the standard, i.e. Paris Hilton. Nicki's aesthetic in these times perfectly complemented her figure, which shows that Nicki knew what worked best for her body and she had an eye for fashion. She knew what looked good on her, and this was especially prevalent as Nicki really didn't have a stylist for most of her looks. She was the one curating what she wore and the image she projected. And I think we have to take note of the situation of rap, specifically female rap around this time. Female rap was basically non-existent, dead during the mid to late 2000s. Nicki was walking into what is essentially a men's club, and she asserted her way into the top. And you can kinda see that in her wardrobe. I've always noted about Nicki's style in her mixtape days that she was wearing the feminized version of what a lot of male rappers wore. She played around with the silhouette of the male rappers' wardrobes and made it so that it would fit her body and accentuate her features. This was sort of her way of telling the male rappers that she can do what they do, but still put her own spin on things. Nicki Minaj's Minaj's wardrobe around these times also resembled that of the video vixens of the 2000s, as Nicki Minaj was also a fellow video vixen around these times. She took a lot of elements from the video vixens of her time and she made it work into her aesthetic. And this can be most seen at her pictorials, wherein you could mistake her as a video vixen coming from a music video shooting. Her hair is usually either crimped, and she added those little bangs for a little razzle dazzle, or it's styled in the iconic Nicki Minaj Chinese bangs and pink undertones. Though she often dressed as Nicki Lewinsky, either casual or sexed up, she did also start experimenting embodying other alter egos, such as Nicki the Ninja in Higher Than a Kite, wherein she wore a kimono and her hair is done up in a Japanese updo, or Harajuku Barbie, which we will get to in a bit. Nicki Minaj dressing for her alter egos will become a mainstay in her career. As 2009 rolled in, she started wearing more eccentric outfits, for example dressing up as Super Snatch for the Beam Me Up Scotty cover, or wearing this lingerie piece in the Bedrock music video. She started cultivating one of her most well-known alter egos, the Harajuku Barbie, which if you haven't watched my video on alter egos, watch it here after this video. And she just started wearing more colorful wigs and outfits. And this really is a precursor and sort of a bleed through from her upcoming 2010 style, which I think everyone is very familiar with.
Do you ever look at someone and wonder what is going on inside their head?
After becoming the first artist to have 7 songs simultaneously on the Hot 100, Nicki Minaj released her debut album, Pink Friday. The album is a departure from her previous mixtapes, as it is infused with a lot of pop elements. And it is one of those albums that pioneered and popularized pop rap into the charts and the general public. As Pink Friday had a lot of pop sensibilities in it, and Nicki was starting to become more famous by the day, she abandoned her persona as Nicki Lewinsky from her mixtapes, and she started adopting more crazy and eccentric alter egos, and this can be seen through her fashion. Her debut single, Massive Attack, gave us a more familiar Nicki, kooky, crazy, and colorful. Her outfits were indicative of the energy of the song and her future songs to come. Nicki can be seen sporting a campy, somewhat futuristic look for the most part in the Pink Friday era, reminiscent of what you would see in The Fifth Element. Nicki Minaj was the definition of camp and experimental. A great example of this is her look for the 2010 AMAs, wherein she wore a Spring Collection 2011 Manish Aurora dress with an embellished, brightly colored skeletal ensemble. It was eye-catching and bold, and it had people talking. Nicki in 2012 recalls it back at the start of her career, it had gotten to the point where I never won anything. So I would just go to award shows just to wear a cute outfit. And her wearing these crazy outfits was a great marketing tool for her, so that she will grab people's attention and hopefully have that attention be diverted to her music. This type of marketing yourself through red carpet appearances was also utilized by Zendaya, and it worked for both her and Nicki, as they got a lot of buzz around their outfits. And I don't think y'all understand, Nicki marketed the hell out of her music in red carpet events and award shows.
The American Music Award goes to...
Pink Friday is in stores tomorrow. Give it up for Pink Friday, you guys! Yeah. Go on.
And citing the Harajuku style as her inspiration for this era, and even naming one of her alter egos after the famous aesthetic in Japan, you can see a lot of its elements infused in Nicki's style in this era. Harajuku fashion styles boomed in the 1980s to early 2000s in particular. Subcultures were everywhere at the time, and there were innumerable different styles and looks to choose from. Nicki in particular takes cues from the decor subculture of Harajuku, which is defined as a style that is very vibrant and cutesy, and it is often linked with Japanese kawaii culture. Nicki took elements from the decor of fashion style and made it her own, westernizing a lot of aspects and making the silhouette of the clothes more figure-hugging, whilst keeping the quirky and eccentric spirit intact. For her Pink Friday photo shoot, she utilized a much more subdued Lolita style, keeping in line with her Harajuku Barbie theme. Nicki also dressed in this black piece number, which has a lot of goth and punk references, i.e. the spikes and the print. The more rough and edgy look can be interpreted as her cosplaying as Roman, one of her alter egos, whilst the more Lolita and romantic looks can be seen as her embodying the Harajuku Barbie. Her legs in most of the pictures were elongated, which is done to mimic the Barbies with long ass legs and to show how doll-like she is. Nicki also has taken cues from the more traditional Japanese style of clothing and westernized it, as seen in her music video for Your Love, which, fun fact, was her first solo song to enter the Hot 100. This calls back to her Higher Than a Kite days. Going away from her more natural hairstyle during the mixtape days, if you saw Nicki Minaj back in this era, you would probably see her sporting a colorful wig, usually blonde with tips at the end, or straight up vibrant color. Her favorite styles of hair to wear are straight or layered hair with blunt tousled bangs, curly hair, or in some cases, like her first Grammy appearance or some of her performance looks, a beehive hairstyle. Her makeup was also equally crazy, with neon eyeliners and a pink lip being her signature look back then. But Nicki Minaj wasn't all crazy back in the Pink Friday era. In songs like Your Love and Right Through Me, we get to see a more natural Nicki be in her element. The makeup and hair is toned down in these music videos, especially in Right Through Me, as the song is more based on reality and it talks about love and relationships. Nicki Minaj is visibly more stripped down than her usual looks around this era. Her street style didn't really change that much from her mixtape days, aside from it being updated for a more 2010 era appropriate styling. Fun fact, Nicki Minaj actually did not have a song about the kitty cat or sex in Pink Friday. As Nicki Minaj aimed to go away from the preconceived notion that she only talks about sex in her music videos, she made a conscious decision to stay away from the topic topic, and this can be kinda seen in her outfits. Even though Nicki Minaj has always embraced her sexuality and being sexy, in the Pink Friday era, the priority of her looks aren't really about being provocative and racy. It's more about being colorful and out of this world, just like Nicki's personality amplified by her alter egos. Not saying that Nicki Minaj didn't have sexy look at this time, it's just that she really focused on being more of an eccentric character, more than a racy one. In 2011, we see a continuation of her previous stylings, as seen in her 2011 VMAs look, which has futuristic elements with the silhouette of the dress and the metal-like fabric, mixed with the harajuku stylings from her leggings and accessories.
Play one song for you right now on 107.5 The Taylor. What would it be?
Can I play album cuts?
Anything you want to hear.
Okay, I want to hear Nicki Minaj Superbass.
Superbass sees her in probably one of her signature looks of all time. The leopard print bodysuit is iconic to say the least. It's still the crazy, campy Nicki that we know, but still with a hint of sex appeal. A lot of hints. She started sporting a lot of animal prints at this era as well, which is prevalent in her 2011 Grammy red carpet look, wherein she wore a Givenchy 2007 fall collection piece. The push-up bra showing behind the tank top also came back from Nicki's mixtape days. If someone thinks of the 2010s over-the-top fashion, Nicki Minaj would come to mind. I think her way of dressing during the Pink Friday era was very consistent and on theme for not only the state of Nicki's career, but also Pink Friday as an album. It was loud in your face and it definitely got people talking about Nicki Minaj, and you just wanted more of her.
Lord, I'm having a heart attack! Damn, this is some scary shit!
Pink Friday Roman Reloaded is Nicki Minaj's second studio album, and it was released on April 2, 2012. When asked on Twitter to describe the album in one word, she tweeted, "Freedom." In an interview following the premiere of the album's lead single, Starships, Nicki told Ryan Seacrest, "I've never had this much fun recording music in my life. My first album, I was very guarded. I felt like I was making music to please everyone else. I had to be politically correct, but this album, I'm just creating music, and there's such a big difference. Literally in the studio, we were cracking up, laughing, having fun, and enjoying ourselves. The music itself, you're going to get every side that I've ever shown and then a little bit extra. I've tried to make it very, very balanced because I don't ever want to be boxed in, and that's always what drives me crazy. So I made a very diverse album." She added that with her first album, I was a too open Nicki Minaj. It felt more to me like a diary. The songs were more introspective and stuff like that. With this particular album, I felt that it was time to give people a moment to enjoy the lyrics and enjoy the beats and enjoy the voices. And this newfound freedom and fun Nicki that we see in Roman Reloaded can be seen in her wardrobe as well. Visually, it takes a lot of cues from her previous era, but now it is more refined and more provocative. As Nicki Minaj no longer restricts herself from talking about sex, she matches that ideal with the more risque look, making more of her outfits sexier instead of absolutely crazy. This can be seen in the music video for the lead single of this album, Starships. Though still contains a lot of the harajuku and futuristic motifs, as Nicki literally plays an alien here, now, she mostly wears bathing suits and bikinis. If Superbass hints at Nicki's sexiness, Starships shouts it at you. The same story can be seen in music videos such as Stupid Ho, Pound the Alarm, Vava Voom, and I'm Your Leader. You can see her pair her clothes most of the time with the long, straight, swept hairstyle, with the color most commonly being blonde. Her wearing a blonde hairstyle can be seen as Nicki making herself a bigger idea than Onika Tanya Mirage, as this was the era she really embraced being a pop star. Her makeup is also more refined than her 2010 to 2011 looks. Her makeup now actually accentuates and complements her features and face. Nicki continues her harajuku style inspiration with this outfit for her Roman Reloaded CD signing in London leading the pack. This outfit I just personally love, and it really is a prime example of her aesthetic in Roman Reloaded. This look still embodies harajuku and all its craziness, but now in a more refined version that actually fits Nicki like a glove. The boots are incredible, and the printed leggings under the tutu skirt with a corset and the beret on top, chef's kiss. Perfection. This look from the 2012 BET Awards also epitomizes the era. It's racy, but it still has some camp within it. Nicki Minaj loved her leggings, either underneath a skirt or just as her bottom as a whole, which can be because Nicki wanted to show off her hourglass figure, which is now the body standard. In this era, she slowly steps away from the more futuristic stylings of Pink Friday, and she slowly incorporates more street style elements into her outfits. This album is basically split into two. The more pop side, like Starships and Pound the Alarm, and the hip-hop / R&B side of the album, like Bees in the Trap and Right By My Side. In the music videos for both aforementioned songs, you can see Nicki dive into full-on street style, but still with her harajuku and Nicki flavor on each outfit, and it is undeniably provocative. This split in the album can also be seen in Nicki's wardrobe. It seems like Nicki Minaj loved to switch between a more streetwear-inspired look to the more harajuku crazy Nicki Minaj style that she was known for. Aside from the leggings, Nicki Minaj loved her lace or fishnet moment, with her 2012 VMA look probably coming to mind, with its artistic red and black lace bodysuit. For the Grammy, she was seen wearing a custom-made red cape from Versace. She then changed into this brown dress look, wherein she performed Roman's Holiday and supposedly killed Roman. This can also symbolize the start of the death of the crazy Nicki Minaj fashion era, as later in the year, we would see Nicki Minaj in one of her most drastic transformations yet. On November 19, 2012, Nicki Minaj released a reissue of her second album, Pink Friday Roman Reloaded the Reup, as a way to increase sales for said album, and she mostly promoted the album and its singles in 2013. For this reissue, Nicki sported a new look. Her hair, rather than being fully blonde, now has dark roots, and it is often a signifier to distinguish Nicki from the Roman Reloaded era and the Reup era. Her dark roots can symbolize the re-emergence of the real Nicki, Onika Tanya Mirage, slowly slowly but surely. The reup's new songs are mostly rooted in hip-hop, and this can be reflected upon Nicki's wardrobe. Gone are the harajuku stylings of Nicki past, and she now sported the more naturally street style and trendy look for 2013. Nicki takes cues from the swag girl aesthetic, which was becoming popular at the time, but she never fully dove into it. Nicki said in an interview, "Towards the end of last year, I just wanted to have a more natural look, and that's what I was explaining to my team. I knew that I was about to start doing covers of magazines, and they wanted a more relatable look. I knew that I was about to launch a clothing line, and I want women to know that I'm just a regular woman, and I'm not some weirded out character all the time. I made that conscious effort to tone it down and try new things. And when I started seeing what my hair looked like, I just fell in love. I was just like, oh my gosh, where has this been all my life?" Because even my fans went crazy. I feel like the whole world went crazy. It felt like I took off this mask. It didn't feel like that to me, but to the world it's almost like, oh, now we see the real her. It was weird. And we did see Nicki Minaj in a more natural light, and she seemed like she was getting back to her roots as a rapper. This era sort of symbolizes the abandonment of Nicki the pop star, and it became an introduction for Nicki the rapper to the general public. And though there was still a lot of whimsy and fun in Nicki's outfit, most of that fun and whimsy are now relegated to just the colors of her dress and outfit, and her shoes. She now sports more trendier pieces, like the bandage dress that was becoming popular in the 2000s, as well as tops that really showcased her boobs. It showcased her boobs. Nicki's music video for High School really showcases this style evolution. With this yellow Herve Ledger dress and her green backless bathing suit, it's both very modern and saucy, while still having some of that playfulness that Nicki Minaj is known for. The street style that she started to incorporate in 2012 is now burnished, and she started wearing more neutral and toned down pieces instead of the bright acid wash showcase that she had the year prior. Nicki Minaj's clothing line with Kmart also showcased Nicki's style around this time. Nicki Minaj also started taking on a more mature and more glamorous look for her red carpets and covers to keep in line with her new image. Her music video for Freedom showcases this. Whereas before, her dresses seemed sort of like a parody of itself, now Nicki starts wearing more elegant and sleek dresses. We can see this in her Mary Claire cover, wherein she starts taking a more editorial look. This was also around the time that Nicki really started molding the baddie aesthetic of Instagram, and she's one of the pioneers for the IG baddies. Give her tens, like come on. Anyways, as the year ended, Nicki started working on her third album, which we will see Nicki Minaj transform yet again.
Don't start.
What do you mean, don't start?
Don't start.
How can I not start on that?
The Pinkprint is the third studio album by Nicki Minaj, and it was released on December 15, 2014. The album was a departure from Nicki's other work, as this album did not contain any alter egos other than Onika Tanya Mirage, which made this album extremely personal and stripped down. A contrast to the more experimental and pop sounds of Pink Friday and its sequel, Roman Reloaded, this album is heavily mostly hip-hop and R&B, with some more poppy songs sprinkled in, like Get On Your Knees and The Night Is Still Young. But it's not the bubblegum pop that we heard in Nicki's previous albums, like Starships or Superbass. When asked about the Pinkprint, Nicki stated that the album would focus on rap and feed the core rap fan. And in another interview, Nicki said that the album would be very personal and is an emotional roller coaster. With this in mind, Nicki revamped her look once again to make her wardrobe and style match the theme of the album, stripped back and denuded. Her makeup was one of those aspects that got revamped, and she's now often seen rocking a more natural look. She also started wearing her real hair, and she dialed down on the wigs. Her hair is either styled straight or with curls. These decisions played into the album as her more natural styling gave us a more raw and unfiltered look at Nicki, just like the album. Before the album was even released though, Nicki already started building up to her transformation. Around February 2014, she posted these pictures with the caption, "No perm, no extensions," and she debuts her new look and gives us our first look at the new Pinkprint Nicki. And these pics were the behind the scenes for looking ass. This was followed up by Pills and Potions, which saw Nicki in a more bare look, wearing minimal to no makeup and simple outfits, to showcase more the emotion of the song rather than distract with the crazy Nicki Minaj look. Both are a massive departure from the previous Nicki Minaj music videos we have gotten, which are usually colorful and with a massive production design. And both music videos set the scene for Nicki's new style, under the influence of her new stylist, Rushka Bergman, who was Michael Jackson's personal stylist and someone who had a more classic style and taste. Nicki Minaj started becoming more minimalistic, chic, and classic in her clothing, while still keeping a little bit of edge and street style influences. The minimalism aesthetic became popular around the late 2010s, and though Nicki didn't fully dive into minimalism, she still took notes and lessened the over-the-top Nicki stylings of her past. She started wearing a lot of black dresses to red carpets, as black dresses and clothing are often associated with rebirth, power, elegance, sophistication, and even intelligence. A prime example of this was her 2014 VMAs dress, which famously did not zip up when she performed Bang Bang with Jessie J and Ariana Grande. Her style took on a more high fashion approach and vibe behind it. Examples are her look for the premiere of The Other Woman, her black dress for the 2014 Billboard Music Awards, and her 2014 BET Awards look. Oftentimes we can see Nicki wearing a short dress instead of more longer ones. Even with her more experimental outfits or her casual looks around this time, she still managed to make it look chic, but still exuding lots of sex appeal that only Nicki Minaj can exude. Nicki's magazine covers and editorials at the time also embodied this fact. Her photo shoot for Days sees her as a reimagined housewife, which just goes with her more new chic style. Her complex editorial tutorial was more fashion forward, and her styling here was very elevated, while her fader cover sees the stripped down Nicki that we are familiar with in this era. I feel like even though Nicki Minaj has always been an it girl since the start of her career, this era was the era where Nicki's fashion style was started being taken seriously. Later singles for the Pinkprint like Anaconda, Only, Bang Bang, and Feeling Myself saw Nicki go back to old form with fun outfits, but still keeping in mind her current aesthetic. Unlike the old Nicki, which would have seen her style these outfits with crazy makeup, hair, and styling, her looks here still give off this more than muted look. This look on Bang Bang, for example, though the pieces in it of itself would seem crazy, on Nicki it doesn't seem that crazy. I don't know, that's just me. These music videos also showcase Nicki's more street style outfits, but with that Rushka touch. Okay, I'm gonna get back to putting these clothes in the bag. In the meantime, why don't you go and listen to another Head Barb and Bad Bitch. Woo.
Hi Nathi, it's Blessing. I am here in London in my wardrobe because we are talking about fashion, and I just had to slide in and talk about just how much Nicki's fashion era in 2014 all the way up to 2017 just meant so much to me as a young woman and allowed me this avenue that I was able to access like fashion and beauty for the first time, I feel like, as a proper young adult. So the story is that I grew up in hair salons, so I've always loved black beauty, hair and fashion. You know, my mum's really glam, and I discovered Nicki when I was quite young, so I was like 12, 13. So a lot of people, you know, may have been doing like the pink hair and stuff, but I was literally like in year 7. So there was no way I was going to be able to do all of that. But fast forward to university when I turned 18, that's about the time of the Pinkprint. And when Nicki released the Pinkprint and revamped her look and gave us stripped back Onika, it really spoke to me. And, you know, it really spoke to me on a level because I felt like this is what I want to channel. Like, this was giving all of those like black beauty magazines I used to look at, and Naomi Campbell, and like my mom as well. Like, it just was so quintessential black beauty. It was modern and classic, which is something I said to you in the tweet I sent you the other day when you were asking about Nicki's fashion era between 2014 and 17. So anyway, I just wanted to say that when I was at university, you know, Nicki really just gave me everything I was channeling. When I would go to the club, girl, I thought I was fine. I would do like my Nicki pony, and I'd have like 28, 30 inches of hair, and I would be swishing it around feeling like a black Barbie. And Black Barbies actually is still my favorite song to this day. So yeah, I want to talk more. I think that we should talk about Nicki's fashion eras, period. But I also wanted to just talk more about how she's influenced me and others. So if you are interested in hearing more, then do head over to my channel, Blessing Makosha. So I'm talking about how Nicki's Pinkprint makeover and the era completely transformed and has continued to inspire black femme fashion. So head over to my channel if you're interested in learning more. And thank you so much for having me on your space, Nathi. Can't wait to see you over on mine. Bye guys!
In 2015, a lot of the same style cues from 2014 remained, but with a more grander, avant-garde feel to it. Her makeup, I would say, improved as well, with this makeup style of hers being one of my favorites of all Nicki time. I don't know what it is about 2015 Nicki, but there was just a certain spark that Nicki lit up for that year. Her dresses were noticeably longer and was more grandiose than her 2014 red carpet dresses. Just compare her VMA dress from 2014 to 2015. Whilst in 2014, she had a more sleek look to her, now, we see her in a more haute couture look. Her Tom Ford Grammy dress in 2015 AMA dress perfectly showcases this. Her style now is significantly more flirty and more revealing. Nicki Minaj loved herself a Chanel bag, and she often sported one for her more casual outfits. Her casual style kept up with a lot of 2015 trends, focusing on comfortability more than anything. Overall, 2015 Nicki was just a more refined version of 2014 Nicki. 2015 was also the time that the Pinkprint tour by Nicki Minaj started, which is currently the best-selling tour headlined by a female rapper. Because of this, we saw an abundance of performance outfits from Nicki Minaj. We saw her return to the more colorful and glittery outfits that she wore, albeit with a more current silhouette and still very minimal compared to her previous performance outfits. 2016 Nicki continued upon the path that 2015 Nicki was on. For the first time since 2013, Nicki Minaj attended the Met Gala once again with this Jeremy Scott bondage-like dress. Of course, one of Nicki's most iconic looks of all time, her 2016 VMAs dress. Her style in 2016 seems to be a precursor for 2017 Nicki. In 2016, Nicki Minaj was still relatively liked by most, if not all, of the general public. She was the premier female rapper of the decade, and she was the only one that remained consistent throughout the years. But sadly, a struggling female rapper would try to take her crown, but Nicki Minaj was not letting down.
Disrespect Nicki Minaj? What?
After releasing 2 songs at the start of February that allegedly contained disses towards rapper Remy Ma retaliated with the infamous diss song, Sheather. I won't be going through their feud as I already have a dedicated video all about their feud. Watch that after watching this video. But nevertheless, Sheather was the catalyst for the Nicki hate train. So Nicki responded with a 3-pack from Paris released on March 10, 2017, containing the songs No Frauds, Changed It, and Regret in Your Tears. All 3 songs charted on the Hot 100, with No Frauds peaking at number 14 on the chart. The 3-pack from Paris also came with another style evolution from Nicki Minaj, spearheaded by her new stylist, Maher Dridi. As the Nicki hate train started to gain more traction and Nicki Minaj's throne was being questioned by ugly and dumb bitches, and she started being disrespected, Nicki started to adopt a more sharp, contemporary, clean, and streamlined fashion sense. She started wearing more abstract designs and more unconventional cuts and styles. A lot of her choices felt unorthodox at the time, but somehow she made it work. Her style was filled with drama, just like her career and life at that point. To combat the claims that Nicki Minaj was no longer the queen of rap, she styled herself as the queen of a theoretical rap monarch line. Basically, Nicki dressed like hip-hop royalty. As one Twitter user put it was urban renaissance. She was both experimental but classic, edgy but elegant, minimalist yet maximalist at the same time. All of those clashing ideals was mixed perfectly to create a specific look that only Nicki Minaj was going to be able to pull off. And all of these are complemented by her 40-inch long, now called Nicki Inches, which was her idea back when she was in Paris. That long hair both grabbed the attention of everyone on the internet while still complementing the new style that she has. Her makeup here as well is my absolute favorite makeup era other than 2015. It just felt natural yet still done up. This was supposed to be the year Nicki Minaj released her 4th album, but after the Remy Ma diss, she focused on the 3-pack from Paris to get back at Remy Ma. She also continuously dragged Remy Ma through her features, and it continued all the way up to 2018. I think that's also one of the reasons why Nicki started dressing up the way that she did. Not only did she show that professionally she could beat Remy Ma, she could also beat her in every aspect in life, including fashion-wise. There were specific pieces and elements that Nicki continuously used to create a cohesive aesthetic. Nicki loved herself a latex moment, a lace moment, one-piece outfits, crazy eyewear, asymmetry, jewels, diamonds, and rhinestones on her clothes to replicate royalty. Her editorials at this point matched the theme of her style here. Experimental yet still elegant and clean. Her paper magazine cover broke the internet, and we can see the elements I just listed above. Her X magazine cover also featured latex, and it's a very clean-cut, sharp image. Dave's concept for Nicki Minaj's editorial was very out of the box and cutting edge. Literally, they cut her face and posted it on backgrounds, and I'm kinda loving it. Some of my favorite looks from this mini era are her tidal lace look, such an iconic Nicki Minaj look, her 2017 Met Gala dress, her 2017 VMAs look, that's literally a top 3 Nicki Minaj look, her No Frauds look, her motorsport look, her Moneyball performance look for Jimmy Fallon when she performed Drake It Up, and literally just all of it. I love it so much. This mini era is my favorite Nicki Minaj period in terms of fashion and styling because it was experimental, high fashion realness, she had the look, she was the it girl. This is the pink print for a lot of the female rappers now in terms of fashion. This is what they want to duplicate.
I don't know why y'all keep on saying the iPhone better than Android. It's just as good.
Nicki Minaj released her 4th studio album, Queen, on August 10, 2018. It was Nicki's first album in nearly 4 years following the Pink Print in 2014. Queen is a majority hip-hop album containing elements of trap, dancehall, reggae, pop, and R&B. Though it wasn't crowned as Nicki's best album, it is still hailed as Nicki's most sonically consistent album. When asked about Queen, Nicki Minaj said that her upcoming album would be her best body of work, a classic hip-hop album that people will never forget. And she described the era as a billion times more epic than anything Anaconda could have delivered. And though the entire Queen era was riddled with the Nicki hate train, radio blackballs, flying shoes, and just overall messiness, the album still managed to go number 2 on the Hot 100, selling over 185,000 copies, and it is now a certified platinum album. Just like all of her albums, Nicki Minaj adopted a new look for this specific era. To build up hype for the album, Nicki Minaj went on her longest hiatus without releasing music or posting on social media at the time, and she came back for a Mercedes-Benz commercial, which now featured her new Queen era look. She then released both songs, Barbie Things, a promo single, and Chun-Li, the lead single for Queen. Chun-Li was also released with a vertical video, and then later on a music video alongside Barbie Things. The Queen era saw the reintroduction of an alter ego Nicki previously used in 2012, and that alter ego is Chun-Li. If you knew your Nicki Minaj alter ego lore, you would know that Chun-Li is named after the Street Fighter character with the same name. And she's from China, and she now resides inside Nicki Minaj's head as the bad guy. She's the bad guy, Chun-Li.
They need rappers like me. They need rappers like me. So they can get on their fucking keyboards and make me bad guy, Chun-Li.
With all of this in mind, we can see the influence of Chun-Li, the alter ego, in Nicki's new fashion style. Though elements of her 2017 style still remained, now she incorporates more grunge and punk elements, infused with a sleek and sexy silhouette, whilst keeping in mind her Chinese heritage to provide us a more rough, tough, and bold yet sleek look. She wears a lot of pieces with cutouts, spikes, and clothes with a BDSM influence to create this sort of unique look for Chun-Li. It's sort of as if Nicki Minaj is dressing the part as the bad guy, and she's playing into the character that people have created in their heads on what Nicki Minaj is. 2018 Nicki also started adopting a more seductress type of persona and aura. For the 2018 Met Gala, which had the theme of heavenly bodies fashioned in the Catholic imagination, Nicki Minaj, rather than dressing as the Pope like Rihanna or angels or anything really, Nicki decided to wear this red and black dress by Oscar de la Renta, cosplaying as the devil herself. This plays into her new at the time bad guy persona that she was playing as, and I thought that was genius, honestly, and it doesn't hurt that she looks absolutely beautiful in it. As the title of the album is Queen, Nicki starts on wearing more queen-like attire. Compared to her 2017 looks, which was an interpretation on a modern-day hip-hop royal look, now she takes on a more regal look with gold accents everywhere, but with an updated and modernized silhouette. This can be seen in her 2018 VMA performance, 2018 EMA's red carpet look, and her 2018 Wonderland editorial. Oh, and of course, the Queen album cover and Ganja Burns looks. I preferred her makeup look in 2017, but I'm not trying to say her 2018 makeup look is bad. It actually looks good on Nicki, and I think her makeup look now is very consistent. For her hair, Nicki started her long-time hair relationship with Arrogant Tate, and she sported a lot of styles, sometimes space buns or Chinese-inspired hairstyles, like her 2018 VMA's red carpet look or Chun-Li look, and she also started experimenting with her wig styles, like this side fade wig from the BET Awards, and Nicki just started sporting more different color wigs compared to her more natural pink print days and her 40-inch long jet black inches from 2017, and it is starting to resemble her earlier looks with the wigs, and this is the same for her style as well. For looks other than regal and bad guy side, we can see Nicki Minaj sport looks that can be taken from the reup era, but modernized and made more sexier. The outfit, though it had some of the fun spirit and quirky colors of her more earlier looks, the looks were significantly less busy and crowded, though that still didn't stop people from calling some of her outfits tacky and unpolished. These different ideas on how Nicki should dress gave us a lot of variety in her looks, but it also gave us a more incohesive, uncoordinated, and just a generally less thought out aesthetic, which also matches with a lot of the criticism that the Queen era's promotion and plan received. This was also around the time that Nicki started collaborating with a lot of clothing brands, which further solidified her status as a fashion icon. She collabed with Diesel with her own capsule collection, playing around her persona as the bad guy, her iconic Chun-Li cover with her Fendi print jacket and earrings, plus her Chun-Li lyric, "Ayo, I been on, bitch you been con, Bentley tints on, Fendi prints on," and it spawned her now iconic Fendi prints online, which had a whole movement of its own, being worn by many celebrities and the baddest bitches. Some of my favorite looks from Nicki circa 2018 was her 2018 Met Gala dress, her Chun-Li vertical video / courtside look, her 2018 VMA's look, and 2018 EMA's look. Oh, and of course, her look at the 2018 Harper's Bazaar Icons Party. Nicki also started touring around this time with the Nicki World Tour, and her outfits here reflected her 2018 style. She has the more bondage / BDSM Chun-Li bad guy looks, the more royal and regal queen-like looks, and the more colorful playful look that recalls a lot on Roman Reloaded. For 2019, Nicki Minaj dropped the bad guy and regal looks, and she just started wearing a lot of pieces that looked good on her. Around this year, Nicki wore a lot of looks that had different aesthetics to each other. This was the year she released her Fendi line, so she started wearing that alongside a lot of Fendi pieces. She started becoming more of a chameleon in her fashion, as she didn't have a specific project to promote anymore, and this sort of philosophy continues till this day. For the first half of 2020, we saw Nicki Minaj promoting her new single, Yikes, and just going about her everyday life, going to parties, preparing to release music. For the few moments that we did see Nicki in 2020, she still continued with this new chameleon approach when it comes to her fashion. We can see here some militaristic and utilitarian look, a logomania type of look, figure-hugging dresses. She didn't have a theme here really, and she didn't need one, as she didn't have anything to promote other than Yikes and features. For her mini Yikes era, she had red hair and she paraded around as her new alter ego, Queen Sleaze, someone we will see more often. She went to RuPaul's Drag Race as Queen Sleaze, with her red hair complete with a full red ensemble. Nicki Minaj was gearing up and she was set to release her next album around 2020. Then, shit hit the fan.
Ooh.
You know the thing that rhymes with Movid,
What?
Novid, that thing, yeah? And that thing kind of put any plans Nicki had on hold. The future looks that we could have gotten had now Thanos snapped, disappeared. The thing that rhymed with Fovid cut the tracks for the new era, and we are left with this mini moment. And it left us with the question, what could have been? 2020 was the year Nicki Minaj got pregnant, and she decided to announce her pregnancy through 2 sets of photo shoots. One photo shoot was shot by David LaChapelle, and these photos came out immaculate. It was high concept, and it saw Nicki mimicking the Virgin Mary in its attire, which Nicki openly cites as her inspo in her caption. It also featured the more naked Nicki, which she herself revealed she didn't like at the time, which is why she didn't go with these photos as the announcement. The photo shoot she did decide to really announce her pregnancy were these. Nicki had more of a connection with these photos as she felt it was more on brand with her, and it represented her more. These photos saw saw Nicki go back to her Pink Friday Harajuku Barbie roots, wearing a very Harajuku-inspired bikini, which perfectly showcased her baby bump. Nicki has openly stated that her next era would be sort of a comeback to Pink Friday, teasing a hashtag PF2 coming soon. She still released music videos and promoted songs while pregnant, but oftentimes, Nicki hid her pregnancy in music videos, like in Shows, Expensive, and What That Speed Bout. In What That Speed Bout, the behind-the-scenes photos showed us that Nicki wore this very futuristic number that put Papa Bear proud and out there. After giving birth, we really didn't see much of Nicki other than photos for an unknown project and her Christmas outfit. Both outfits, I would say, gave me really 2017 vibes, but with a slightly different vibe and styling that was distinctly 2020 Nicki. Her Christmas outfit is literally one of my favorite looks from her. Like, that's mother, literally. She then went on hiatus, her longest hiatus actually, and she came out with a bang, re-releasing Beam Me Up Scott in May 14, 2021. Nicki's wardrobe around this year was more casual than her previous eras, as Nicki really just stayed inside her house. Her style now was a bit more streetwear inspired, but still with that elegant Nicki Minaj touch. She didn't really need to wear elaborate gowns and all of that, as she just stayed in the house, and we can describe her look as a very much elevated on-home panini look. For the second half of 2021, Nicki was able to go on more events and do more work, such as appearing in her first music video since 2020 with Boys, with Nicki wearing a very familiar sort of bad girl look. Her Savage X Fenty look, wherein she met with Rihanna, was also a callback to her 2018 bad guy era fashion, which is supported by her wearing her chun-li chain. She also went back to a more elegant and glamorous look for some of her outfits, as she was no longer inside the house. Some of my favorite looks from this year was her Real Housewives reunion look, her Charles Snow's floral dress, and this look. For 2020, Nicki Minaj released Do We Have a Problem and Bussin on consecutive weeks at February 4 and 3 and 11 respectively. Back at the helm is Rushka, Nicki's 2014 stylist, and you can definitely tell that Rushka is back. Classic Rushka styling is back, with Nicki getting a more sophisticated and glamorous aesthetic, wearing Mugler, Marc Jacobs, even being part of the ad campaign for Marc Jacobs' line, Heaven, which shows that Nicki is still able to keep up with the times and is still an it girl. I really can't comment much on this year as it is still ongoing, and I'm sure Nicki Minaj will have more outfits for the upcoming NM5. Personally, I really resonate with Nicki's mixtape looks, as my personal style philosophy falls under that era. The McBling style is the aesthetic I personally associate with. But for Nicki, my favorite era from her in terms of fashion is 2017. But Meher just added the sophistication and experimentation on Nicki, and she was so mother for that year. Anyways, that's it for all of you guys. Nicki Minaj has reinvented herself over and over and over again. And you can see this in her fashion as well. Other than her music, fashion is her way of showing which emotion she's feeling, what she wants to convey. Her fashion is very intentional. But I think a great thing about Nicki Minaj that a lot of artists who do reinvent themselves don't have is that Nicki has 100% remained Nicki, whoever Nicki was at that time, and she never lost sight as to who she was. And that's really it. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and that is the evolution of Nicki Minaj's fashion. Oh my god, the alarm set off. Quickly!